This is Noelia Garcia. I am in Mr. Brox's 4th hour for AP Environmental Science, and this is my newscast about endangered species that we have. I hope you enjoy. Let's get right into the segment of Noelia's news.
Okay, so here's my presentation for the endangered species. So first endangered species is we have the Notorious Alabama's black warrior, or the Alabama water dog. So description of the natural habitat, like they are in Alabama rivers and streams, and they can only be found really in the United States of America, typically only in Alabama and rivers and streams. So reasons for endangerment. So the black warrior water dog is endangered by habitat loss and water quality integration resulting from point source and non-point source pollution and urbanization. In order for it to survive, it's crucial for their behavior that they have sufficient places such as tree trunks, rocks, and ledges, and to hide and be able to protect themselves. And their preferred diet of the Alabama water dog is of small fish, worms, and snails. When they start reproducing, it is usually in winter, so around December they start mating because they do like to be a little more edgy, and they love like cold, glooming areas, like raining. They love depressing stuff. And when they reach sexual maturity is around the age of 5, and they will lay their eggs in leaf beds that will hatch around spring or early summer. They don't necessarily really have any predators, but they do have competition such as fishes, snakes, and other water dogs. So ecosystems services provided in extinction. So they used to have 11 historical sites in Alabama, but because they have habitat loss, they have a medium range area where they can live, and not much will happen if the Alabama water dog did go extinct, but it will cause a sudden imbalance once again in the river and stream system. Ways to help them. So by conserving water and limiting the amount of water we are taking from their homes, limiting the amount of chemicals we pour down the drains will greatly benefit all water systems and help keep a cleaner river and stream system, as well help us and benefit us in the long run. So next is Mexican gray wolf, Canis, aka that's the common name. This is the scientific name, the Canis lupus bailey. So the natural habitat and range. So the Mexican gray wolf range from the central and northern Mexico to western Texas, southern New Mexico, and southern central Arizona. They aren't desert animals per se, but they do prefer the mountain regions because they have areas that they can have like water coverage, water, and more suitable prey for them. So reasons for endangerment. In 1915, the Mexican government began to go into wolf dens and killing the pups and began poisoning the wolves in order to protect their livestock. That almost made a whole species go extinct. So here's a description of them. The Mexican gray wolf can be up to 5 feet 8 inches from the tip of their nose all the way to its tail. They are bigger than the German Shepherd, weigh around 65 to 85 pounds average. They start to breed around late January, early March, give birth to an average of 4 to 6 pups around 3 days later. Their current needs for survival is housing, lots of breeding, and their current environment is what they need because they are currently all in zoos, and they are almost completely extinct, so they are in zoos and sanctuaries in order to help them. The Mexican gray wolf's biggest predator is the humans. We have killed them to near extinction, and we are the biggest threat, and we are also their biggest competition, such as other wolves. So ecosystems provided and effects on the environment if extinct. The Mexican gray wolf original ecosystem was in mountains and occasionally deserts, but since their extreme extinction, they are currently in zoos trying to help them. The effects on the environment would be an unbalancedness in the ecosystems in the wilderness. Although they had left around 2016, that's kind of inaccurate. It was more so in the 1980s, 1990s is when they started taking them. In order to be safe, we needed to in order to help that and keep prevent those effects on the we need to have more of a balance and in the Mexican and American areas. So numbers remaining. In 1980, there were only 7 known Mexican gray wolves to be alive, and in a recent study in 2011, Sonora, Mexico now has around 30 living gray wolves, and they are slowly raising that number. Unfortunately, there was a higher number before that, but obviously we're humans and we're greedy and we kill everything, so it is still quite low. So efforts to conserve and why we should conserve. So establish more environments for wolves to live in, make sure we leave those areas alone, those are just strictly for wolves, and raise awareness and encourage public participation, house and care for the wolves, participate in the captivity breeding program. So this one is quite difficult. So the Irrigon rhizomation, or the common name is the Zuni fleabane. It is a plant. So here they can be found in the Clayside Hill from the mid to high elevation. Can be found in the Chinle Formation in the Zuni and Chuskai Mountains, and similar clays of the Vaca Formation in the Diatel and Sawtooth ranges in New Mexico. Reasons for endangerment. So the reason for endangerment is uranium exploration in mining and off-road vehicles, as well as livestock trampling has caused a problem for the soil and makes just toxic fumes in general. And here's more of a more prolonged description, but they have 2.5 to 4.5 diameters tall, and their flower heads are usually 13 to 16 centimeters wide. Their flowering, when they start to do stuff, is typically occurs from late May through June. They don't have any known predators or competitors. Ecosystems provided and effects on environment if extinct. The Zuni Mountains and the Cabello National Forest, New Mexico. Plants grow on separately vegetated slopes in the Pinon juniper woodlands. So that is kind of their ecosystem that they have. Nothing too drastic would happen if this flower did go extinct. It would just provide one less source of food for some animals. So there is no I couldn't necessarily really find an exact number of how many were used to have, but they did have a wide range of areas where they could live. Now there's very few areas, so if that is any correlation. So why efforts to conserve and why we should conserve, we are trying to get administrative acts by federal land management agencies to reduce threats from mining activities to help reduce uranium. And this is for the next one. Yeah, that's pretty much it, and I will show you guys some. Oh wait, my works cited page, let me just flex real quick. Look at that. And then here are some more photos of the Alabama water dog. It is a pretty edgy boy. Here is the Mexican. I already showed you guys that photo. Give me 1 second. I could not edit my videos at all, so I had to go in and do this. But this is how big they are. He's a big boy. He's kind of chunky right there. And then this is the Zuni fleabane flower. It's not the prettiest, but it's a flower. But that's it. Yeah, thank you.